There we go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm James with JC Trails, and look what we got today. It's the new 2020 Santa Cruz Hightower. So Santa Cruz claims that this is their greatest hits of all their bikes combined into one. It is a mid-travel 29er, 140 millimeters of travel on the back, provided by a Super Deluxe Select Plus rear shock and a 150 Lyric up front. So I'm gonna be riding the S build, which comes with the just C frame. It's their lower grade carbon. It's about a ½ pound heavier than their CC frame, but just as stiff and strong. And I think this is your best bang for a buck, but I'll leave a link to Santa Cruz's website below so you can check it out fully with the geometry and spec. So I'm curious still to see if this bike really is the greatest hits of all Santa Cruz's bikes. I've already ridden it at my local XC trails where I usually ride like my Stumpjumper ST back there, and it pedaled just as well for a 140 bike. I was super impressed with how this lower link performed on just flat, smooth trails. But now I want to take it to something more, a little more rough and a little gnarly, a little more enduro-y. So let's see if this thing can keep up, the Hightower. I don't expect it to be as good, but hey, if it's close and you can only afford one bike, this might be it. Let's go find out. Gonna meet up with my buddy D-Back at Diamond Hill in Cumberland, Rhode Island, and let's see what this bike can do. All right, welcome to Diamond Hill. You get the ice cream shop right here. Treats after you ride. Parked across the street. Gonna head up on the climb. I think it's called like White Climb. I don't even know. Something like that, but 5-road climb. Take it to the top. We're gonna go slay some descents. Should be a good one. A little warm today. But I'm gonna try climbing with the fork and shock wide open. You know, I've never closed it yet. I've ridden it a couple times already at my local XC trails and it felt fine. So I think the pedal efficiency is pretty high on this bike. The anti-squat is good. Got a little steep here. Nice having that steeper seat tube angle. Whew. 76 degrees, point something. Oh, by the way, I got it in the low position. Oh my God, I'm tired already. If you guys are not familiar, Diamond Hill. Made a video on it with my buddy Polish Rocket. You go check that out, I'll leave the link in the description of that video, but it's pretty cool. It's just more downhill oriented trails with these kind of 5-road climbs. You know, not too bad. Steep in some sections, some chunky areas. Good test for the bike. But everything's open, fork and shock, and typical Santa Cruz, minimal bob, less pedal feedback than the old Hightower, the older generation VPP linkage with the shock higher up. These lower mounted shock is, you know, it's real nice. Still firms up when you're pedaling, but I feel like you get a little more traction over the chunkier bits while you're pedaling. Pedal efficiency is really good. But climbing wise, guys, it is really efficient. I'm surprised on how pedal friendly it is. I think it climbs better than my Stumpjumper short travel. It's 120 millimeters of travel. Definitely pedals better than the regular Stumpy, and this is the exact numbers: 150 fork, 140 rear shock. But the true test, let's see how it goes down. Let's do it. Oh, it's slick. Dude, the trails are different. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. You. Wasn't ready for that drop. That is sweet.
Dude, this thing feels so plush. Oh, I should have dropped that. A lot of hucks to flats. No bottom. You. Oh, dude, that drop is sick. You boost the heck out of that. Dude, this bike feels perfect. Holy crap. I'm sure the Mega Tower feel unbelievable here too, guys, but remember this bike, you know, it has the same geometry as the Mega Tower, almost like exactly, but it feels lighter on its feet. If that makes sense. I mean, the shorter travel, I don't know if it just makes it a little bit more poppy, or, you know, yeah, it must. Or the shock tune's a little different. But the, you know, the frame design's so similar too. But man, it feels good. It just feels really light. And I forgot to say, I'm actually on the size medium today. If you follow the channel, you know I ride a large Mega Tower, and this medium just feels perfect. I don't know if it's just because it has a 50 mil stem, a little bit longer, but fits like a glove. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, 31 inseam on the legs. Could use a longer dropper though. Comes with a 150. Definitely could fit a 170. But we're coming back up. Do another descent. All right, guys. So initial thoughts on the descending on the Hightower is, man, it's plush, but it doesn't. When you pedal it around like XC trails, it doesn't feel like it would be an enduro bike, but it's almost right there aligned with the Mega Tower. Obviously, the Mega Tower, you just gotta go full speed to take advantage of its capabilities. But this thing, I think you can just maneuver a little bit better. You can pick your lines. A little more precise. And I thought it would be like the same, dude. With, you know, like 20 millimeters of travel, what's that gonna do? With the same geo? But it does. It's a lot more playful. It could be I'm on a size medium too. My Mega Tower's a large, but I don't think so. I mean, this bike just fits.
Do you have any idea what the weight difference is?
I picked them up just like side by side.
Yeah.
And I had the carbon envies on that one. They're about the same, dude. This might be like a half pound lighter just because it's a medium, less material. See how this turns. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, almost in that tree. Woo! Might need a little more air in the fork. Feels so plush. All right, D-Bac's just leaving me because he's a really good rider. Little jump. Wow. But let's keep riding. You want to do the loop?
Yeah, I'll do the loop, I think.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do like more of a, what is it, not XC loop, is it?
It's a little bit. It has some cool shit.
So yeah, so it's just like a more trail riding, I guess you'd say. Yeah, let's see how this bike pedals, just, you know, some old trails. I did some XC trails.
Some features.
Yeah, we got features to do. And we'll film those as we go along. But guys, wait till the end of the video. We'll talk about my feelings and impressions of the Hightower. But so far, impressed. Well, people want to know how it's a, you know, it's a bike. It's got to pedal well. And I already did XC trails on it, so it does pedal well. There's stuff you can pop off of. Steep roller. It's nice having that slack head tube. These little sharp rollers. And it's not going fast now, just enjoying the trail. Ooh. Up and overs. Dude, that's a good little jump right there. You might boost that rock. Wish I had a back guard on. Dude, this is some chunky stuff. Ew. So this is the trails we've been riding for a little bit. Just like up and down chunk. Bike handles it perfectly. The plushness is definitely saving me on some of the rollers that are pretty steep. It is hot today, guys, so sorry for the huffing and puffing. This is cool. It's a great balance between trail bike, enduro bike, and a short travel bike. It is kind of all three combined. So is it like a quiver killer? I think so. You just can get one bike. It's a great bike to get. That's a fun little section, dude. So great little lube, good test for the bike. Really good in the tight stuff, like you have to make a sharp right turn and climb up something. It's good for that. I mean, it's still a long trail bike. You know, same geo figures as the Mega Tower. I'm enjoying it.
All right, back to the bike basement. Literally just got back home, sweating here. This thing climbs pretty dang good. I tried it with the shock locked out. It was no good. I don't recommend it. You know, this RockShox Select, Super Deluxe Select Plus only has two flips. You know, it's almost locked out and then wide open. It doesn't have that pro pedal position. So what I recommend is just keep it in open. You know, at Diamond Hill, it has a bunch of little chunky, loose rocks and a couple like just real rough rock gardens. You want the traction through it. The only time I might lock it out is on like a real smooth fire road. But climbing is excellent. Just pedaling around your local trails, more like XC trails, it feels great. The size medium is really good for that because, you know, where I live, it has tight, just wandering up and down trails, and it's really easy to get around corners. It's got a 433 millimeter chainstay, so nice and short. You can still whip it around. The older models had that same feeling with the VPP. You know, it taunt up the back end when you're hammering the pedals, but you got a lot of pedal feedback when you're pedaling through like rough rock gardens, like where I live. This lower link design doesn't have that anymore. It's not as supple as a FSR suspension on like my stump jumper there. You know, that still pedals really well over like just rocky terrain. But I think I prefer this. The efficiency is just a little bit higher and the feedback is minimal now. All right, so let's talk about how this Hightower descends. Obviously, it's not going to descend as good as the Mega Tower over there, but it's pretty dang close. You know, the geometry on this bike is near identical to the we call it Mega Tower. But this bike, it feels the same on the descents because the geo is so similar, but it doesn't have that just point and shoot feel. It feels more accurate, which is really good. But, you know, the Mega Tower, if you make a mistake, it just covers it up. It just makes every trail just feel like smooth. This still feels like it has a little pop to it. You know, I can go over a root or a rock, just hop over it, place the bike where I want it. So the whole time I rode this bike, you know, I've been riding it for a couple days now. I've been riding it in the low setting right here, the flip chip, and that's on the bottom of the shock mount. That's what Santa Cruz recommends. They say ride it in the low setting. If you encounter a lot of rock strikes on your trails, then you could try the high, but they say ride it in the low. And in the low is really nice. At Diamond Hill, when we were just doing these huck to flats, I thought I was just gonna bottom the bejesus out of this bike, but look at that. The O-ring is still on there. Never blew off, and if it did, it's so progressive that in this low setting that it just cushioned me right into the landing. So it was really nice. Just landed and kept on accelerating downhill. So just a couple gripes with the Hightower and pretty much any lower link or lower shock mounted Santa Cruz. This lower link right here, you know, it's snugged up on that back tire. So if this is a 2.4 DHR2 with, you know, it's got decent sized knobs. It's a vacuum cleaner for like, you know, little pebble sized rocks and maybe a little bit bigger. And if they come flying up, they get stuck right down there and almost lock up the back tire a couple times. I mean, and scratching the crap down there if you can see it. Also, the seat stay is getting a little nicked up here and there, not too bad. and a couple of little scratches right there. You can't see it, but behind the tire. Guys, I really enjoyed my time on this Santa Cruz Hightower. Who's this bike for? Pretty much everyone. So if you only afford one bike, this is the bike I would recommend. You know, a mid-travel 29er that's capable of smashing enduro tracks and keeping up with your friends on XC courses. Everything works really well. The pedal efficiency is pretty high. Don't take my word for it. Get out, demo this bike. I think you're gonna love it. Thank you, Bike Barn, for supplying my Santa Cruz Hightower. I had a great time on it. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to see more bike reviews, and see you. Peace.